Imagine you're a predator swimming through the ocean. Hungry, looking for your next meal, you spot a fish in the distance and start swimming toward it. But as you get closer, you realize something is very wrong. This fish looks like it was designed by someone who's never seen a fish before. Its body is covered in venomous spines. Its skin is lumpy and diseased looking, and its face looks like it lost a fight with a boat propeller. Your brain does the calculation instantly. Whatever calories you'd get from eating this thing are absolutely not worth the risk or the disgust. You turn around and swim away, looking for literally anything else to eat. That fish just survived by being so spectacularly ugly that you couldn't bring yourself to eat it. And that's not an accident. That's evolution working exactly as intended. Some fish aren't just ugly by coincidence, they're ugly on purpose. And today we're going to figure out why evolution keeps creating fish so repulsive that predators would rather starve than take a bite. Now let's talk about the blobfish, which has become internet famous for being possibly the ugliest fish in existence. The photos everyone shares show a pale, gelatinous blob with a droopy face that looks like it's experiencing existential despair. And that's real, but it's also misleading. That's what a blobfish looks like after being dragged up from the deep ocean and subjected to a massive pressure change that essentially destroys its body in its natural environment. About 600 to 1,200 meters deep, the blobfish looks relatively normal. It lives under pressure 60 to 120 times greater than at the surface. The blobfish doesn't have a swim bladder because it would rupture under that pressure. Instead, its body is made of a gelatinous substance slightly less dense than water, allowing it to float above the seafloor without expending energy. It's basically a living blob of jelly that drifts around eating whatever small crustaceans it encounters. This is brilliant for deep-sea survival. Food is incredibly scarce, and swimming burns energy, so the blobfish evolved to conserve every calorie, but that gelatinous body turns into a melted blob when brought to the surface. The blobfish's surface ugliness is accidental, but its deep-sea relatives are intentionally ugly. Take the anglerfish, which has enormous mouths filled with needle-sharp teeth, tiny eyes, and bodies covered in strange fleshy protrusions. The anglerfish's ugliness is optimized for ambush predation. It can swallow prey nearly as large as itself, and its bizarre appearance means predators might not even recognize it as food. Now, let's talk about the stargazer, which looks like it was designed to make you uncomfortable. The stargazer buries itself in sand with only its eyes and mouth exposed, positioned on top of its flat head so it can look straight up. Its mouth is in a permanent upward-facing frown. Its eyes are bulging and positioned to stare directly at you, and its entire body is mottled with colors that make it look diseased. Some species also have venomous spines and can deliver electric shocks up to 50 volts. The stargazer's ugliness is functional camouflage. When buried, it looks like a weird lumpy rock with eyes. But the ugliness also serves as a warning. This fish looks wrong. And that wrongness triggers an instinctive avoidance response. There's a concept in evolutionary biology called aposematism, when animals evolve bright colors to advertise danger. Think poison dart frogs. But there's also ugliness as warning, where animals look so off-putting that predators avoid them without knowing exactly why. The stargazer embodies this. It doesn't have bright warning colors, but its appearance is so unsettling that it triggers disgust. Predators see it and think, something is wrong with that fish. Let's talk about the hagfish, which takes ugliness to another level. The hagfish looks like an eel that someone partially melted. It has no jaw, just a circular mouth surrounded by tentacles, no scales, just slimy pinkish-gray skin and barely any eyes. But the truly disgusting part is its defense mechanism. When threatened, the hagfish secretes slime. A single hagfish can produce enough slime to turn a 5-gallon bucket of water into thick goo in seconds. This slime expands on contact with water and clogs the gills of any predator trying to eat it, essentially suffocating the attacker. The slime is so effective that predators quickly learn to avoid hagfish entirely. The combination of the ugly appearance and the legendary slime defense makes the hagfish one of the least appetizing creatures in the ocean. Even sharks generally leave hagfish alone. The hagfish's ugliness and slime work together. The ugliness makes predators hesitant, and the slime punishes any predator that ignores the warning. After one encounter, most predators remember and avoid anything that looks like a hagfish. Now the frogfish, which is ugly in a way specifically engineered for ambush hunting. Frogfish are lumpy, warty, and covered in what looks like diseased skin flaps and algae. They come in colors from muddy brown to sickly yellow, all designed to blend in with coral reefs. But the frogfish takes ugliness to an extreme. It doesn't just blend in. It actively looks like something you wouldn't want to touch, like a piece of reef colonized by parasites. This hides the frogfish from prey while also making it look inedible to predators. The frogfish has a lure that dangles in front of its mouth to attract small fish. When prey investigates, the frogfish creates a vacuum that sucks the victim in within 6 milliseconds, one of the fastest feeding strikes in the animal kingdom. Then there's the monkfish, which proves ugliness is only skin deep. The monkfish has a massive flattened head that takes up most of its body, a mouth so wide it can swallow prey nearly its own size, and a face that looks like it's been stepped on. Its skin is slimy and muddy brown with fleshy protrusions that make it look diseased. For a long time, fishermen would catch monkfish and throw them back because they looked so disgusting. The ugliness was actually protective, but eventually someone filleted one and discovered the tail meat is absolutely delicious, mild and sweet, often compared to lobster. Now, monkfish is considered a delicacy and is overfished in many areas. The ugliness stopped protecting them once humans figured out they could just cut off the horrifying head. This highlights an important point. Ugliness works great against predators who need split-second decisions, but not against intelligent predators who can learn that ugly exteriors hide something valuable. There's a pattern here. Ugliness in fish is almost never random. It serves specific survival functions, camouflage, warning signal, or making the fish look sick or inedible. These strategies are incredibly effective because predators make constant risk-reward calculations. Is this meal worth the energy? Is it safe to eat? Could it be poisonous? Could it fight back? Predators who make bad choices don't survive long, so evolution tuned them to be cautious about anything that looks wrong or dangerous. Ugly fish exploit this by looking as wrong as possible. They trigger the predator's threat assessment and come back marked as high risk, low reward. It's the same reason predators avoid brightly colored frogs. The appearance screams danger, whether or not the animal is actually dangerous. Then there's the wolffish, which has prominent teeth that protrude from its mouth even when closed, giving it a permanent snarl. Its face is broad and flattened with small eyes, and it looks perpetually angry. The wolffish's ugliness is about intimidation. It looks aggressive and dangerous, which it is. Those teeth are used to crush shellfish and crabs. Predators see the wolffish's face and the message is clear: I will bite you. This is ugliness as threat display. The wolffish doesn't hide or look sick, it looks mean, and that's enough to make predators reconsider. Interestingly, despite their frightening appearance, wolffish are actually quite docile toward humans. Stonefish, which might be the single most disgusting-looking creature in the entire ocean. The stonefish looks exactly like its name suggests, a rock, but not a nice smooth river rock, more like a chunk of coral that's been colonized by algae, covered in barnacles and left to rot. Its skin is bumpy, warty, and mottled with browns, grays, and greens that make it blend perfectly with the ocean floor. Its eyes are tiny and sunken, barely visible among all the lumps covering its body. It has no streamlined shape, no elegant fins. It's just a lumpy blob that happens to be alive. This ugliness is not a defect, it's a feature. The stonefish is a master of camouflage, and looking disgusting is how it hunts. It sits motionless on the seafloor, looking like reef debris, and waits for small fish to swim past. When prey gets close enough, the stonefish explodes upward and sucks it in faster than the victim can react. The whole attack takes about 15 milliseconds. But the ugliness serves a second purpose: defense. The stonefish isn't just ugly, it's one of the most venomous fish on Earth. Along its back are 13 dorsal spines, each connected to a venom gland that can inject a neurotoxin so painful that victims describe it as the worst pain they've ever experienced. The venom causes excruciating pain, swelling, tissue death, and in severe cases, heart failure. So from a predator's perspective, the stonefish looks like a diseased rock covered in spines, which is exactly the message it wants to send. I'm not food, I'm a painful mistake waiting to happen. And it works. Most predators take one look and decide it's not worth investigating. They can't tell if it's a rock, a sick fish, or ocean garbage, but their instincts tell them to leave it alone. So why does evolution keep creating fish too ugly to eat? Because in the ocean, looking delicious is dangerous. If you're a small, colorful, streamlined fish with no defenses, you're going to get eaten constantly. But if you can make yourself look like a diseased rock covered in spines, predators will hunt something else. Ugliness is a survival strategy that works on multiple levels. It provides camouflage by making the fish blend in with unappetizing backgrounds. It provides warning by making the fish look dangerous. It triggers disgust by making the fish look diseased. And it provides intimidation by making the fish look aggressive. The beauty of ugliness as defense is that it's relatively cheap. You don't need venom glands, you don't need toxins, you don't need armor or speed. You just need to look wrong enough that predators' instincts tell them to stay away. Of course, ugliness doesn't work against all predators. Highly intelligent hunters like dolphins, octopuses, and humans can learn that ugly doesn't mean dangerous or inedible, which is why many ugly fish have backup defenses: venom, spines, slime, or biting ability. But against the majority of ocean predators who hunt by instinct, ugliness is remarkably effective. It's a low-cost, high-reward strategy that's evolved independently in dozens of different fish families. The stonefish, blobfish, anglerfish, stargazer, hagfish, frogfish, monkfish, and wolffish all arrived at the same solution. If you look disgusting enough, most things won't try to eat you, and ugliness as a defense strategy is still evolving. Fish populations in areas with high predation pressure are slowly becoming uglier over generations as the least ugly individuals get eaten and the ugliest survive to reproduce. Evolution doesn't care about beauty, it only cares about what works. And in the ocean, where everything is trying to eat everything else, looking like something nobody wants to eat is one of the most successful strategies evolution has created. So the next time you see a photo of a horrifyingly ugly fish and wonder how something like that could exist, remember that fish looks exactly the way it's supposed to look. Evolution spent millions of years perfecting that ugliness, and it's kept that fish's ancestors alive long enough to pass on their genes. Ugliness isn't a flaw, it's a feature. And in the ocean, it might be the difference between being someone's meal and living to see another day. Some fish are too ugly to eat because evolution designed them that way. They're ugly on purpose, and that ugliness has kept their species alive for millions of years. Beauty might work on land, but in the ocean, sometimes the best way to survive is to look like something that crawled out of a nightmare. Thanks for watching, and if you want to see the actual most venomous creatures in the ocean and how their toxins work, that video is next.